I'm Karen Stangram and welcome to Conquer Crochet, the channel for tips, tricks and techniques for conquering your crochet. Today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this gorgeous poppy. So I'm moving a little bit closer so you can see that. And this will use all the techniques that we've already covered in our tutorials up to date. I will link them in the cards above as we go along in case you've missed any of those videos and you want to catch up. So if you're ready to get going, give me a thumbs up below and let's do this. Okay, so in order to make our poppies, we're going to need some red yarn and some black yarn. I'm just using some scrappy bits that I had. If you have any little leftover bits, that's a really good way to use up some of your scrap yarn. These don't take too much yarn to actually make. I'm also using a 4mm hook. This yarn, by the way, is double knit yarn, so it's ideal for using with a 4mm hook. And I have a pair of scissors for cutting off my ends. Start off with the black yarn. We're going to start off with a magic ring. You can do this in whichever way you want. I'll put a link in the cards up here so you can see my video making magic rings. And then chaining one into my magic ring just to give me my base. So we're going to do 16 double crochets. That's UK terminology double crochet, US terminology single crochet. We're doing 16 double crochets into the ring. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, oops, 13, 14, 15, 16. I really don't like working in black yarn. I find it really difficult to see. So you have to be very careful when you're going around. And we're going to count our stitches and we're going to join in the first stitch that we made. But I'm just going to make sure we've got our 16. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Excellent. Now I'm joining it up before I pull the ring tight because I find it really difficult with the black yarn to actually see where the stitch is. So I'm going to do my join and then I'm going to pull my circle closed. I could probably put it a little bit tighter as well. Now we've done our 16, we're going to fasten off. And huzzah, we can get rid of the black yarn. Oops, go away. So turning it over, just going to pull that yarn to close the circle up. Okay, so we have our circle of 16 and we're going to be moving on to red yarn. But if you wanted to, you could make the white poppy, you could make the black poppy, or you could make the purple poppy. If you want to have a look at my my latest blog, and it explains exactly what the different poppies actually stand for. So these are made in exactly the same way with the 16 into the circle, and then what I'm about to do with the red in purple, black or white. Okay, so let's take our red yarn and we're going to join it to any one of the double crochets that we made previously. So I like to make my slip knot first and to take my hook out, insert into one of the stitches, put my slip knot back on, tighten up a little bit and pull it through that stitch and just do one little stitch just to make sure it's on. Okay, so we're going to chain, no we're not, we're going to chain 1, use a chain 3. And then we're going to do a double crochet in the same space that we did our join. So in exactly the same space, You're doing 1 double crochet, and we're going to double crochet all the way around, so we should have 16. So that's 1, oops, doesn't want to go through, let's try that again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's always worth with black to make sure you are counting, 7, 8, 9, it's going to be a tough one, oops, then move that tail out of the way as we go around, 10, 11, oops, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. We go around just to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're going to join into the top of that double crochet with a slip stitch. Okay, so we have our 16 in the magic ring, and tighten that up again, and then 16 double crochets in each of those 16 black ones. Okay, I'm going to chain 3, and then in the same stitch as my chain 3 I'm going to do 2 trebles. So we're starting to make our first leaf, sorry, the first petal. So I have 3 chain, which is counting as a treble, 1 treble, 2 trebles. In the next stitch I'm going to do 2 trebles, 1, 2. In the next stitch I'm going to do 3 trebles, 1, 2, and 3. So we have our chain 3 counting as 1 treble, 2 trebles after that one in the same stitch. Next stitch has 2 trebles, and the next stitch has 3 trebles. We're now going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch, and that finishes off our first petal, and there are 4 petals in our poppy design. Okay, in the next stitch I'm going to do 3 trebles, so just catching, there you go, 1, 2, 3. In the next stitch we do 2, 1, 2. In the next stitch we do 3, so that's 1, 2, and 3. In the next stitch we're going to do a slip stitch, and we have now done 2 petals of our poppy. In the next stitch we're going to do 3 trebles, 1, apparently no we're not, let's try that again. That will be 1 treble, 2 trebles, maybe I should call them trebles from now on, 3 trebles. Next stitch we're going to do 2 trebles, 1, 2. Next stitch we're going to do 3. It's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to slip stitch into the last stitch there. So that's 3 petals then. You can see they're starting to sort of give you a bit of shape here as they're coming up and around on each other. Okay, the last petal then. Make sure we've got some more yarn. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch and make 3 trebles. In the next stitch we're going to do 2 trebles. Next stitch we do 3 trebles. Excuse me. And very importantly, we don't just join up at the top here, we must do our slip stitch to finish off that petal. Then we're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain, 1, 2, 3, from that starting chain. And then we finish off. And there we have our poppy. So there you have a really easy pattern for making your own poppies. If you decide to make one for yourself, please remember to pop a donation into the Poppy Appeal box next time you see one. And if you're making some to sell, please make sure that you donate that money to the charity because they really need your support. If you've chosen to make poppies of different colours, please make sure that you donate to the relevant charities. They're all in my blog, which is in the descriptions below, as is the pattern for this poppy and the other coloured poppies. If you've really enjoyed this video, please give me a like below and comment on how you're going to use your poppies. I would love to see your work on Instagram. It'd be nice to fill up our feed on Remembrance Day with lots of crocheted poppies. Please consider subscribing by clicking on my face, and there are 2 other videos on the side here to help you on your crochet journey. Thank you so much for joining me today, and happy hooking!